Tesla is continuing its caving in. So we are down $7.75. That's 2.99%, closed at 251.12. Post-market, we are rebounding a little bit by 17 cents. So let's look at what we have here on the chart. If we don't look at the chart, we have no idea of the context. Yesterday, we came outside of our bullish channel. Small bullish channel, but bullish channel nonetheless. Now we are dropping even further. There was a slight possibility that we could bounce on 255.23. That's a support that was used reasonably in the past. July, also in June. It could still have been possible that we have bounced on it, but nope, we just went right through it like a hot knife through butter. So next stop is going to be 240.89. Let's take a look at the 1 hour chart to understand how this happened today. Yeah, the first hour we stopped at 255.23. We stopped there a little bit, but then the second hour went right through it. And even right through another bullish channel that we had on the 1 hour chart. We stopped there a little bit, tried to break above it right here, but we could not break above it. We had lost stochastic over 60 on the 1 hour chart, but around 260. At around 260, we had already lost yesterday stochastic over 60. Not too surprised that this thing is coming back down. When you buy on the daily chart, you can decide to sell on the 1 hour chart when stochastic goes below 60 and when we are breaking a horizontal resistance. This will make sure that you get out of a stock within a downturn as soon as there's a little bit of a downturn. On the flip side, then the stock could be getting back up. You can decide to get back in. Anyway, so in terms of indicators, everything is in the tank for the 1 hour chart. And on the daily chart, we have stochastic at 37. So stochastic is continuing its plunge. We still have a good MACD, but we have lost RSI over 50 and the MI also turned bearish. You see how this can go fast? It can go really fast. And I need to mention this again. We are getting into a very tight wedge where we are getting right into our big downward resistance. Tesla has been into a downward resistance for a long time, for over a year, almost 2. And we have been into this nice pullback, a bullish pullback right here. And now we are getting into this very tight wedge. So we should not be surprised that, as I said, things start to move like this and you will see the indicators go up and down. This is going to be pretty crazy. And right now I'm forced to say that the congestion zone that we are in is getting smaller and smaller. And now we are between 240.89 and 265.32. So this is the main congestion zone that we are going to be in, and we are going to zigzag into all of this. Let's take a look at the VIX a little bit. Yeah, look at this. So VIX 2.61, 15% up. The VIX is growing rapidly. We were coming down a little bit, so this is what helped Tesla move up a little bit. Now the VIX is going super high, super fast. But it's not the time to be long. It's not the time to be long. Let's take a look at the 10-year bonds. The 10-year bonds is going down a little bit. Let's take a look at some Tesla news. So Tesla brings V4 superchargers to the US. This is critical to Cybertruck and non-Tesla E. The new V4 supercharger is really important to the charging network expansion because the new format, which has a cable that is 3 feet longer, size matters, is going to be critical to adapting the charging experience to the Cybertruck and non-Tesla. It is a little bit harder for the Cybertruck to charge. They have to get very close to the supercharger because the Cybertruck is wider, it's longer. And also because non-Tesla EVs might have different configuration of where the port is. So it's nice to see that Tesla is going to address this need. Let's take a look at some EV stocks. So Rivian is maintaining itself. So we are just down 0.16% and look at how perfectly it is tracking on the support. As I said, we could be having a buy signal around the time we are going to get to the earnings call. This is going to be November 7th. This is less than a month away, but maybe we are going to get a good setup right here. Xpeng going sideways, so it's not too bad. It's down 1%, but still above support. NIO is still going sideways. These EV stocks are still managing to hold pretty good. VinFast, even VinFast is holding. We should use it as an indicator. Let's look at Apple. Okay, this is textbook perfect. This is textbook perfection, my friends. So this is a great example that sometimes it's possible to make money into a downtrend. When there is a downtrend, we oftentimes go from support to resistance to support to resistance. So it's sometimes possible to have a good buy signal on the daily chart, and by buy signal, a break up a horizontal resistance. First a break of a downward resistance. So this was the downward resistance that was right here. This was the downward resistance. Then when we get outside of a downward resistance, then we need to make sure that we are not stuck into a congestion zone. So the congestion zone was at 174.58, or even the first one, you could have used the 173.82 if you were a bit more aggressive. And then we had stochastic over 60, and then boom, we had a move. So once we have a buy signal and we have a move, it's up to us to decide what we do with that move. Are we going to get greedy and wait until it's going to be the biggest move in the world? Or are we going to take some profit when we are going to reach some horizontal resistance or a significant diagonal resistance? So in this case, this is exactly what happened right here. We are caving into that downward resistance. So yesterday we touched it, and today we are just going down. We are just going down. For the very aggressive amongst you, you can start shorting right here. We still have a good stochastic. It's possible that we bounce a little bit. Maybe you could switch on the 1 hour chart. And we see that on the 1 hour chart, we are having a little bit of a support right here. It's pretty clear. Support is at 177.88. We see it here. It stopped here, went higher, and now we are the same place. So you could use this break of 177.88 on the 1 hour chart to short Apple. It could bounce on 176.29. If not, it could bounce on 174. This could be a nice short next week. And there is no stochastic over 60. This should be coming down as soon as we break said 177.88. And then basically, this is where we would be shorting. And then we would be in the direction of the trend, because this is where this is a downtrend. So this would be in the direction of the trend. So this move could be quite big. But you do your own research and you make your own decisions. I am not here to hold your hand. I'm here to teach you a few principles about technical analysis, and I'm here to show you where I see the resistance lines and the support lines, and you can do the rest. ARM is just going sideways. It's bouncing on support. These support lines work. They are working. What can I say? Why would something stop at 49.97? We had a low today at 50. I'm 3 cents off. I'm sorry. I'm 3 cents off. It stopped at 50, so we just put a line at 50 because the buyers come back in at 50. So we have people waiting on the sideline that are just accumulating at 50. Boom. It comes down to 50, they get in. They let it go down to 50 and they get in. This is why we have these lines, is to look at the behavior of the buyers and the sellers. Palantir, a little bit of a move down also. The buy signal happened last Friday. This is still a nice move. This is still into its bullish channel. And yes, it has broken its last horizontal resistance, 1778. It's still respecting 1715. We still have a good stochastic on the daily chart. There is not much reason to get out on the daily chart. Even on the 1 hour chart is not too bad. Yes, we have lost 1778, but we are still in this bullish channel. We don't have stochastic though. So just be careful that we don't start to break 1715. So yes, Palantir is down 3.23%. We'll see what happens next week. Nvidia, look at this again, close to 479.22. We are down 3.16%. So we are caving into this horizontal resistance. We are caving in and we are back and we are back on support at 451.75. We still have a good stochastic. Let's hope that we bounce on it. But if we look at the Porsche market, we are down by 86 cents. So maybe this little move that we had this week is going to be gone. Let's look at our indices. So Dow Jones is up 0.12%, just sideways. We don't have stochastic over 60 yet. It's not really a buy signal yet on the daily chart. S&P 500, the same thing. We don't have stochastic. We are bouncing on support. We are still into a downward channel. If we start breaking that support, then that could be a short opportunity. S&P 500 broke a couple of supports today. So NASDAQ is not as good in terms of its pattern conservation, last stochastic over 60. So down 1.23%. Let's look at gold. Oh my God, look at this. Gold up 3.18%. Gold is rapidly going up. Is this an indication that we are going to get into a major crash, a major recession? Gold is climbing super high, super fast. This is quite impressive. We have gained stochastic over 60. We have gained all of our indicators, and look at the technical indicators that we have here at the bottom. Super steep. This is quite impressive. This is impressive. I would still wait until we break 1508 to consider this a buy signal at some point. But wow, that's a strong move. Silver, 3.49%. We are gaining back stochastic over 60. We are gaining back a bunch of indicators. This one, I would wait for $8. I would still wait for $8, but very nice move. Bitcoin is bouncing a little bit. Ripple is bouncing also on its support, and no stochastic yet. So all of this zigzagging with Tesla and everything is going to get resolved next week when we are going to get the earnings call on the 18th. So then we can get a clearer view of what is going to happen with Tesla. Is it going to go down? Is it going to go? This is going to be a very interesting week, especially on Thursday. Thank you very much for watching. Thank you for liking, commenting, subscribing. If you like what I do, you can become a YouTube member. Click on my TradingView affiliate link. I'm going to wish you a great weekend. We are going to talk on Monday, unless you are a member, in which case we are also going to talk on Sunday, where I do a live between 3 and 4 p.m. Eastern time. This is always, sometimes I start at 3:30, sometimes I start at 3:15, but it is between 3 and 4. If you want to join me, you can just click on the join button. You can subscribe to the Tesla Weekly Live tier, and then we are going to be able to spend an hour looking at our stocks from a weekly technical analysis perspective, and then we are going to be discussing about other topics surrounding technical analysis. So I hope you join me there. So have a great weekend, and I'm going to tell you à la prochaine.